Your phone's out of battery, isn't it? Vincent Fan knew it was normal for Jiang Xiaobing, this little rascal, to hang out all night. What was there to worry about? Lily Wang frowned and said, but he has never not come home before, and I've never heard from his teachers that he's skipped class. Vincent Fan sneered inwardly, this guy never skipped class? Only a fool would believe that. These thug students, which teacher dares to care about whether they attend class or not? After talking for a while, Vincent Fan still maintained his attitude, not believing that Jiang Xiaobing, this little rascal, could get into any trouble, and advised her to go to the school and ask other students. Lily Wang had no choice but to leave disappointedly, resenting in her heart. If old Jiang was still alive, Vincent Fan would never have this attitude. It's all the He family's fault. All because of that cheap woman, Jasmine Gan. She really wanted to beat Jasmine Gan's son to death, so she would not rest in peace even in death. But before she had even left the police station, her phone rang. She picked it up and saw the name Beloved Son displayed. She hurriedly answered the phone, ready to scold her son, but was greeted by a burst of unfamiliar laughter. Lily Wang felt a sinking feeling, sensing something was wrong, and quickly asked, "Who are you?" A cheerful male voice came from the other end of the phone. "How much money does your family have?" My family. Who are you, and why are you using my son's phone? The male voice was still very cheerful, very happy. I'm asking how much money your family has. Lily Wang's unease grew stronger. She tentatively asked, "Who are you exactly? Why are you using Xiaobing's phone? Where is my son?" "Oh, Jiang Xiaobing? He's here with me, but I want to borrow some money from you, though I might not plan on returning it. Do you agree?" Lily Wang immediately realized it was a kidnapping, and urgently said, "Let him talk to me on the phone." Hey, every time I ask you a question, you don't answer directly. Are you born with reverse thinking? Since that's the case, there's nothing to talk about. Goodbye. The man's tone was relaxed as he hung up the phone. Lily Wang panicked and called back, "Hey, don't hang up. Whatever your demands are, we can talk about it. Let's talk." "That's more like it." The man laughed. "How much money does your family have?" My family. She didn't know how to answer. Saying more would surely lead to him asking for more. Saying less, he probably wouldn't believe. Just as she was at a loss, the other party spoke again. "Never mind, don't say it, it's okay. I see your villa is quite big, you should have quite a bit of money. Prepare 3 million, a penny less, and wait to receive a corpse." 3 million! Lily Wang gasped. "Right, 3 million, any problem?" Such a large sum of money, where do I get it?" "Like this, I see River over the years, always scraping together quite a bit of money. 3 million shouldn't be too much. If you think it's too much, you can choose not to want your son, Wait, let me hear Xiaobing's voice first. I need to know how he is." "Want to hear his voice?" "Yes." "Is that your only request?" Lily Wang didn't understand his meaning, thought for a moment, and still said, "Yes." The man laughed heartily. "But I don't agree. The hostage isn't with me right now. I'm just a middleman, only responsible for the ransom exchange process. Anyway, listen well. Prepare 3 million. Do not call the police. I will contact you later. Goodbye." The man hung up again. When Lily Wang called back, the phone was already turned off. She was in trouble. To call the police or not? She was still in the police station. After thinking for a long time, she, a woman, really couldn't make up her mind. In the end, she decided to go back and find Vincent Fan. After listening to her description, Vincent Fan was surprised at first, then felt something was fishy. He had heard of many little rascals deliberately staging a kidnapping to extort money from their parents. Jiang Xiaobing was a typical little rascal. Could he be kidnapped? Or was he also trying to extort money from his mom? After thinking for a while, Vincent Fan asked, what did the person who called you sound like? Very young, seemed to be around 20 years old. Oh. Vincent Fan was even more convinced it was a staged act. A group of teenagers and 20-year-olds inciting Jiang Xiaobing could also be Jiang Xiaobing's own idea, asking his mom for money. At this moment, Lily Wang's phone rang again, still Jiang Xiaobing. She signaled to Vincent Fan, "He's calling again." Vincent Fan said, "Good, answer it, turn on the recorder and speaker." Lily Wang turned on the recorder and speaker, answered, and cautiously asked, "Hello? Did you call the police?" Lily Wang and Vincent Fan looked at each other. Vincent Fan hurriedly shook his head to signal. Lily Wang immediately replied, "No, I didn't call the police." "How is my son?" "Oh." The voice on the phone responded, then said, "You better not lie to me, I'm very kind, but if you called the police, I won't be kind anymore, we will make a few small holes in Jiang Xiaobing's body, ha." The other party cruelly laughed, and after hearing Lily Wang's anxious pleas, laughed even more happily. He just wanted to see the domineering family being played by others. Without waiting for Vincent Fan's instructions, Lily Wang urgently said, "I really won't call the police. Please don't hurt my son, I beg you, don't hurt him." The other party immediately turned from sorrow to joy. "Okay, I believe you, but why are you still not willing to leave the police station?" The two were shocked, Vincent Fan even more so. This kid actually dared to stake out the police station. He hurried to the window, slightly tilted his head to look outside. There was no one standing in front of the door, just a lot of people coming and going on the street opposite. Who was the caller? He didn't see anyone on the phone. At this time, the voice on the phone continued happily, "All right, that's it, prepare the money, I will continue to give you instructions." "Wait," Lily Wang saw he was about to hang up again, hurriedly said, "Let me hear Xiaobing's voice." The other end impatiently said, "I told you I'm a middleman, Jiang Xiaobing isn't next to me, don't you understand my words?" "Oh right, I have another condition." "Tell me." "This phone, how come it's showing a balance of less than 20 yuan, if it's turned off I won't contact you again, you see to it, goodbye." After saying that, he hung up again. When she called back, the other party had already turned off the phone. Lily Wang and Vincent Fan looked at each other. After a while, Vincent Fan jumped up from the chair, cursing, "This guy is crazy." Lily Wang had no mood to discuss further, copied the recording for him, pleading him to urgently report to the county criminal investigation team for help, then hurriedly left the police station, anxiously returning home. She reluctantly recharged Jiang Xiaobing's phone, then pondered what to do next. Although her family's assets were more than 3 million, gathering 3 million in cash at once was not easy. If push came to shove, she could only borrow from relatives and friends first. After all, her family owned several properties, borrowing money wouldn't be too difficult. Vincent Fan went over the whole thing again, still not quite believing Jiang Xiaobing was kidnapped. But whether it was a real kidnapping case, or a bunch of little brats teaming up to scam their parents, the act had already violated criminal law. Criminal cases should be handed over to the criminal investigation team, why rack my brain here? So, he sent an officer to deliver the copied recording to the county bureau. Captain Jacqueline listened to the recording several times and asked the person about Jiang Xiaobing's situation. River was dead. The officer didn't mince words, directly saying he was a local school's little rascal. Many parents had filed complaints. After sending the person away, Jacqueline pondered for a while and discussed with his subordinates. A team member asked, "Captain Lin, should we tell the boss?" "Tell him my ass." Jacqueline disdainfully said, "Such a trivial matter also wastes the boss's energy, knowing it wouldn't he scold us." But it's a kidnapping case." Jacqueline decisively shook his head. "Use your little brain and think about it, how could it possibly be a real kidnapping case? That rascal Jiang Xiaobing is a thug who's good at fighting. Who would be so idle as to kidnap a thug who's good at fighting? Asking for 3 million right off the bat, are they out of their minds? Is there such a kidnapper who demands such a huge ransom? Even if they wanted to kidnap for ransom, there are plenty of richer targets like officials or businessmen, and it would be easier to target a female student. Why would they choose Jiang Xiaobing? Listening to that fool's voice on the phone, it's clearly a teenager, 100% Jiang Xiaobing and his gang of rascals running out of money and staging a kidnapping to extort money from his mother. Demanding 3 million right away, it's clear they're students who haven't stepped into society and have no concept of money. Also, the other party claimed to be a middleman, saying Jiang Xiaobing wasn't with him, so he couldn't let Lily Wang hear her son's voice. A kidnapping case with a middleman? It's definitely because they were afraid that a conversation between Jiang Xiaobing and his mother would reveal their plot, so they concocted the role of a middleman. The officer nodded repeatedly, admiringly saying, "That makes sense, so how do we handle this?" Jacqueline said, "Catch this bunch of rascals first, who asked these fools to cause us trouble." "How do we catch them?" "That's easy. You find another person, go to Lily Wang's house together, and when the other party calls, you directly expose them and scare them off." These little devils. Poor Chasechen never dreamed that they simply didn't believe Jiang Xiaobing was kidnapped. With the civil service being so popular these years, more than half of the detectives were newbies. 2 detectives drove openly into Lily Wang's residential area, rang the villa's doorbell, and when Lily Wang came out and saw the 2 officers, she was shocked and hurriedly let them in, anxiously asking, You just came like this? Could someone have seen you?" The criminal said if I called the police, he would tear up the ticket. One detective confidently chuckled, "You believed it just because they said it was a kidnapping?" Lily Wang didn't understand what they meant. The detective smartly analyzed, proving that Jiang Xiaobing wasn't kidnapped but had staged a drama with those thugs to extort money from his family. First, the other party never let Lily Wang hear Jiang Xiaobing's voice because they knew that if Lily Wang talked to Jiang Xiaobing, he might slip up and reveal their plot. What kind of kidnapper doesn't let the family hear the hostage's voice? Never heard of such a thing. Second, the other party said he was the middleman in the kidnapping, and Jiang Xiaobing wasn't with him. We've been police officers for so many years, in all the kidnapping cases we've handled or heard of, when was there ever a middleman? These kids must have watched too many movies. Third, we heard your son is quite tough, so why kidnap him instead of a richer family's daughter? It would be easier. Fourth, we found out that your son always walks home from school with a large group of people. How could he have been kidnapped? Everyone else was fine, but he was kidnapped right under everyone's eyes? Fifth, the kidnapper's voice sounded juvenile, clearly not more than 20 years old. Even if it was a kidnapping, who demands 3 million right off the bat? It shows the kidnapper has no concept of money, definitely a young thug who hasn't stepped into society and experienced life. After presenting these 5 reasons, Lily Wang was somewhat skeptical, but the detective spoke with such certainty that, after thinking it over, she found it made a lot of sense. But the thought of her son conspiring with others to extort money from her made her both sad and upset, realizing that her excessive pampering had made him uncontrollable as he grew up. Then, she snapped out of it and hurriedly asked, "My son was led astray by his bad friends, and together they staged a kidnapping. If you find them, will they be in trouble?" The detective solemnly said, "This is a criminal act that touches upon criminal law, and they will have to bear criminal responsibility." "If I don't pursue it, will they still have to bear criminal responsibility?" Of course, in civil cases, if the victim doesn't press charges, the officials won't pursue it, but once a criminal case is filed, it can't be changed. The older guys will have to go to prison, and although your son is a minor, he will still have to bear some responsibility. The extent of the responsibility depends on who is the mastermind. Lily Wang was extremely anxious, regretting not thinking things through before calling the police, and hurriedly asked, "What kind of punishment will my son face?" Re-education through labor for a while. The specific length of time will depend on the actual case details. Lily Wang was extremely worried, thinking that after her son came back, she must discipline him properly, but sending him to re-education through labor was too much. She is River's wife and naturally knows what kind of people are in re-education through labor camps. Good kids go in and come out as hooligans, and like prison, newcomers don't know how much suffering they will endure. She hurriedly turned around, went back into the house, took out 5 packs of leisure cigarettes and 2 bottles of high-end liquor, and amidst a series of polite exchanges with the detectives, eventually stuffed them into their car trunk, asking them to speak to Captain Lin and say that her son was led astray by others, asking not to let the child be sent to re-education through labor, and so on. The 2 officers smiled while declining but indicated that there would be a lot of room for consideration in this matter, reassuring her. Just as the pleasantries were over, Lily Wang's phone rang again, this time from Jiang Xiaobing's phone. She hurriedly signaled to the detectives, who told her to turn on the recorder and speakerphone, as it would serve as evidence. She did as instructed and answered the call, and the other party cheerfully asked, "Why is there a police car entering your neighborhood? You didn't call the police, did you?" Lily Wang angrily questioned, "Who exactly are you? Don't lead our Xiaobing astray." This statement clearly caught the other party off guard, and after a moment, they responded, Wait, what's this scenario? What do you mean by me leading your Xiaobing astray? This isn't quite right. Lily Wang said, "You little beast, stop talking nonsense and let Jiang Xiaobing take the phone." The other party helplessly said, "How many times have I told you, I'm just a middleman, Jiang Xiaobing isn't next to me." A detective immediately came forward, took the phone, and shouted, "I'm from the County Public Security Bureau's Criminal Investigation Team. You and Jiang Xiaobing come to the town police station to surrender immediately. Your actions have already violated criminal law. If you surrender now, considering your young age, you might be treated leniently." The other party was surprised for a while, then murmured in shock, "Lily Wang, did you really call the police?" Hearing his tone, Lily Wang realized he was scared after hearing about the police, and with a cold snort, said, "Stop pretending, and don't continue leading my Xiaobing astray. Let Jiang Xiaobing take the phone, you all go surrender." Wait, I just got here, and you're asking me to go to the police station to surrender? This isn't right. The detective sternly said, "Yes, you've gone too far this time. Come to the police station now, I'm waiting for you." The person on the other end coughed a few times, then regained composure. "Sorry, I'm really a bit out of sync with you guys, let me think, let me analyze the situation again. The current situation is, you don't believe I kidnapped Jiang Xiaobing?" The 3 looked at each other, was this fool still not admitting it? The detective said, "Don't think about continuing the act. Think carefully about the severity of the situation. Judging by your voice, you're probably over 18 years old. Consider the consequences carefully. Come to the police station now." The other party was silent for a moment, then sighed, "All right, I'll think about it and call you back later." The detective was proud. See, these little devils are scared. After a while, the kidnapper called again, "Does Jiang Xiaobing have a big black mole on his ear?" Lily Wang suspiciously looked at the 2 officers, then curiously asked, "Yes, why?" "Oh, then I'll talk to you later." The other party hung up. When they tried to call back, the phone was turned off, making the 2 detectives grind their teeth in frustration, angrily saying, "This fool probably has never been to a police station. Wait till he comes in, I'll make him regret it." But Lily Wang had a growing concern in her heart, feeling that the situation might not be as light as the detectives had said. The 2 inexperienced officers were in the police station, chatting and passing the time, waiting for the expected few little hooligans to bring Jiang Xiaobing in to surrender. At that moment, they saw Lily Wang rush in, saying, "The other party just called me again, telling me to go to the east end of Wangjiang Road, next to a trash can, to pick up a small box. He said he would call me again in half an hour." "What's the meaning of this? These guys still haven't come to their senses," one said. The other also felt something was off and thought for a moment before saying, "Let's go check it out." Wangjiang Road is a secluded road on the outskirts of the city, newly built not long ago, with street lights and surveillance cameras not yet installed. At the east end, there indeed was a trash can.